Check your email. Let's see. All right, all right. Welcome to my channel, The Underrated Darkness. Yours truly, the number one grinder. Welcome to my channel, The Underrated Darkness. Yours truly, the number one grinder. One of the best case secrets on social media. Believe that we got another chop up with my brother here, brother Guye Nollywood. Like me from New York, like I do. So we're gonna get up. And before I introduce the brother's gonna ask questions about me too. This ain't no interview, it's a chopper. So he gonna ask me questions too about me, and I urge him to do that. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna bring the brother in, the one and only My New York fam, brother Guye Nollywood. What's good, family? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Can't hear you. Still can't hear you. Peace and power to you, brother Picard. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming. Let's see. Okay. Hello? Can you hear me? Maybe you might have to go back out and come back in. Let me see something. Say something. Say something. Nothing. Hold on. Speak it up. Hello, hello, hello. Let me see something. Man, you might have to go back out and come back in. Speak it. No. Yeah, it's mountain, so he had to probably go back out and come back in. Let me see who's in the chat. Hey, Triple C, what's good? Thanks for coming. Thank you. Appreciate that. Glad you're coming. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Okay, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate that. Again, welcome to my channel, The Underrated Darkness. Yours truly, the number one grinder, one of the best kept secrets on YouTube. The best of you. All right, you see.
Okay.
Hello? Yeah.
You can hear me, right?
Yes, I can hear you.
Now I just want to hear the sound. How can I make sure I hear the sound? They won't even
What happened?
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. All right, let's get it going. Welcome to my channel, Underrated Darkness. Yours truly, the #1 grinder, one of the best case secrets on social media. We got the one and only brother Guye Nollywood Jr. Introduce yourself, please.
Hey man, thanks for having me, my brother, Underrated Darkness. It's good to be here with you. This is your brother to the audience. My name is Guye Nollywood Jr. I represent the RBG Nation, and what I do on my panel is basically bringing consciousness, bringing awareness to our people, and just challenge the foolery, you know what I'm saying, and trying, just representing the black man, black woman, and child, represent the motherland, and just and basically sharing a little, just like I liked history, you know what I'm saying, bringing, like I said, just bringing consciousness and just showing we need to unite as a people, you know what I'm saying. So
yes.
That's what I represent.
Good. But before I continue, this is a chop up. So I want you to ask questions about me too. This is not an interview, it's a chop up. You can ask me questions, all right, bro? Please ask me questions. So let's get this going to again. Welcome to the brother Guye Nollywood Jr. He's chopping it up with me on the Darkness Round Table. So we welcome our family. Welcome to your family here. P Dog. Oh, I forgot. Let me get this out. Welcome to the Underrated One family. The Guye Nollywood, and other ones from Coco Tina. Thanks for coming. And welcome to the Underrated One family. Welcome to the I'm sorry. Let me go. Let me back again. Thanks, my family, the Underrated One family. Thank you, the LDBC family, that stands for Lions Den Boxing Community, also basketball community, that also my family, and also hashtag TWT family. Welcome. Thanks for coming and everything. This is a chop up with the one and only brother, Guye Nollywood, that from New York and everything. And again, let me tell people about the chop up again. So I tell people he will ask questions about me within the 25 or 30-minute mark. I'm gonna ask y'all to put your questions in the chat. This is one thing though. If I feel the questions is inappropriate, I'm not gonna ask it. So think before you put the questions down. Make sure it's very appropriate, right? All right. Now we got that all squared up. But welcome, brother, and very much appreciated. Just been a long time waiting. We know me and his brother been each other for a very long time. He knows me as JT Blackness. And we've been like this. He knows me when I do my thing, but he sees the growth in me, and also like that. Yeah, he smiled because he know I used to do my thing. I used to put people in caskets. You know what I mean? Let people come after me. He could tell you, but I always had a conscience in me, and he's one of the few brothers that helped me along the way. Like, this is you right here. You need to do this. You conscious. You're a positive brother. You a smart brother. Come on. And I appreciate that he sees potential. And I always want to thank you, but I thank you for that because you didn't give up on me. And that's what black man's all about. You don't give up on another black man. Now, if he's an ain't shit motherfucker, he's an ain't shit motherfucker. But he ain't shit, he ain't shit. I don't care if you got a job or you got a lot of money. You ain't shit. But he never gave up. He wanted a few bucks. He never gave up me. And I appreciate that. I really do. So I want to thank you. I just want to say that to you before we start the chop and let people know about, me. I had people that believe in my vision. Once upon a time, I got sidetracked and they pushed me along. Come on, man, we need you. We need you here. We need you. And I appreciate that. So thank you. I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart, brother. Thank you so much. And he's from New York, so his New York swag always there. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's it. New York swag right here.
That's right.
Can't mess with this. You know what I mean? So You know, swag. You know what I'm saying? When I go to people in New York, it's I got to people say this is a persona. Nah, this is real right here. This is swag. You know what I mean? This is something that I know all black people we got swag, but New York is like it's there. You can never shake that. So I appreciate that. But let's get it going here. I'm excited. I know you're excited. Let's get it going here. Is your mother father living?
I'm sorry. Repeat that again.
I said your parents.
Repeat that again.
Is your parents still living?
Well, I haven't seen my father in a long time, so I don't know if he's okay or whatever. But my mother is still alive. Yes.
Good. All right. Okay. Do you have any kids? I know you have, but people know. Do you have any? I know you had a family, right?
Yeah, I have a family. I have a boy and a girl. She's 13. And I have a son that's 8.
Okay, cool. P Dog in the building. And shout out to Coco Tina. Shout out to you. Thanks for coming, sis.
Brother Bakari too is in the
Brother Bakari, I want to go check out and Triple C Tree. Dang, I ain't see that person in a while. Thanks for coming, and I want y'all to come back. I remember, I don't know what's around maybe New Year's Eve. You was talking about Malcolm X and them. I want you to go to his channel. He got great stuff. And he breaks it down that people talking about it's a theory. No. He breaks it down and stuff. I want you to go check it out and everything because you're not going to get better than that. But now I want to ask you that there's a difference raising a daughter and raising a son. And I want you to explain to people as a black man why is a difference. And also the co-parent, how that goes.
That's a good question. It's an excellent question. As far as there's a difference between raising a daughter and a son. I think a son, it's more like the son carries the father's name, and that's to me, he supposed to carry more like the legacy because he carries the name, and he wants to keep the legacy going. Because I'm trying to I want a positive legacy for my grandkids and great grandkids. So when they hear my last name, when they hear the last name, they know they'll be like, okay, that family is legit. You see what I'm saying? And even when I tell my daughter, me and my daughter had that conversation. She was just like, yo, why do my name have to change after I get married? I said, well, because you belong to that man. And I said, and hopefully that you can show that that you come from a family that's legit. So she's still gonna represent me no matter what. And I said, then I told her never ruin the family's name, because we have a legacy that we trying to keep positive. And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people know that legacy is very important. You know what I'm saying? So as far as sons, it's different because and I think that's really the only difference is the name. However, you want to teach your son that to learn how it's important what it means to be a man. What's the mean to because a lot of these guys, a lot of these kids, a lot of these young males growing up, they don't know what it means to be a man. They don't know because they grew around women so much, they become soft. You see what I'm saying? So when I grew up, my father wasn't around like that. Last time I saw my pops, it was like 12 when I was 12. But when I got into my teenage years, man, it was tough, man. So I had to, because thanks to hip hop, I had to learn to be tough. I had to learn how to take no mess. You see what I'm saying? Like Tupac said, hip hop was his daddy. So So that's why I want to teach my son, so he don't have to rely on the music industry. I want to be there to make sure that, hey, you know, you gotta learn how to protect, you gotta learn how to defend yourself. You want to be respected by the sisters, you want to be respected by women, you want to be respected by your peers. As far as the daughter, like, I could only teach her so much, but as far as how to teach her be a woman, how to be feminine, how to be classy, how to be respected, I'll leave that to her mother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Only I could just tell her, hey, don't do anything that's going to disappoint me. Don't disappoint your family. If you got anything that you need to, you know, anything that you want to question, I don't care what it is, come to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I grew up around women, so I know the ins and outs, and I know the how the man should treat you, and how you should know how to treat a man.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a big difference. I mean, I'm still learning as a father. I'm still learning. So I don't have it all together, but I'm still learning along the way. So
That's good. Yeah. That's all right. Yeah. And again, I want you to ask a question about me. Whatever comes up, please ask. Whatever comes up.
yeah, I have a couple of questions, but go ahead if you
No, no,
don't
no, no, no,
ask
no,
me.
no, no, no. You the guest. You go right ahead. Go right ahead. I can hold it for
All right.
Bonds.
All right, cool. So tell me about your upbringing. Like, are your parents still together? Like, where do you grew up at?
Ooh.
Tell me your you know, basically how your upbringing was about. You know, how was it?
I came from two family home, poor. Grinding. Born and raised Brooklyn, New York. I was born like on 180 Prospect Place. I was born right next to the Phoenix House. Like people think, well, I would live right next to the very first Phoenix House. And then, also, I was a Jehovah's Witness, so I do believe in God and stuff like that. But also, my political beliefs with the Black Panthers. I learned when I learned back when I was very 5. So my political beliefs and everything else that's surrounded by Africa and all that, we build. Me and you build. But that was my starting base of the Black Panthers. Learn about, go against the system. I was around the times that the feminists was really coming to the picture. And the sad thing about, there are some black men and some black women have fallen to it. I seen Ashley Blackman get kicked out the house. I see the women also get kicked out the house because she's sticking up for the black men. I had 2 of my grandfathers had passed away very early in my age. My late mother's grandfather, grandfather Wallace, he passed away when I was 6 and 72. Then my late father, he came up from the South and lived with us because he had some problems, so he passed away when I was 8 and 74. So right there, that had a big impact on me, and then took me a long time to really get over it. But when I learned from each one of them, it's besides my late father, we didn't really like. But the last year, I'll get to my father. But the last year I said the last year and a half is like we got close and like that. But grandfather Wallace, my late mother's father, he was like something in the street. You know what I'm saying? He was known. You know what I mean? But he always protected his family. He always believed in he's old school. So he always about masculinity. He always say, my father, like, you put him in, he said, I'm putting him. He always told my mom, nah, because I was the youngest at the time. So he put me in the car. You know what I'm saying? We used to kick it. He used to tell me, like, there's gonna be some things happening at the time I was in special ed. So I'm gonna get to that too. But I learned from him. And so he always about keeping family together. He was always about community. You know what I'm saying? Always talking about you got to hold man accountable, but also you got to hold women accountable. He said you're gonna see a lot of funny things happen to a black man. And he told me this. I want people to understand this. I was 6. I remember had those things because you know what I'm talking about. That they always said that we have a short memory, us as Africans. No, we the most smartest in the world. We could withhold knowledge like for centuries and centuries. So I remember that. And so when he died, it hurt. And really think about it right now, it does hurt. So that's the part of the ground. Then grandfather Thomas, we call him Pop. He passed away 74. He's from the South, so he gave me the Southern root of it, talking about certain things going on and stuff like that. Or he always used to pick me up from school bus and stuff like that. And I remember people used to come after me. He always was right there. Nah, you ain't even old and all that. You know what I mean? So. And also, he was like him. I used to get into it. Oh, you should treat your son like you love your son. So when he left, it left a void there too. So to make a long, I can say because it's not about me, it's about you. So basically, that's my grind is. That's my grind, because I always was an underdog. You know what I'm saying? But they always helped me that. You a star. You hear what I'm saying? Even with the Black Panthers, with the women, you a star. We expect you to protect us. But at the same time, the women, I think, was protecting us too. You hear what I'm saying? Because they knew the system, the evil system. That as you know, you heard from me for years that I want to break the evil system. And that's the root of it, that's really the root of it. And then, I started learning about other people, Malcolm X and other people like that. But the evil system, that's why I never was afraid to go. I never was afraid to go against the evil system because I got home base on when I was very young. And I'm thankful for that because when I was 8, it seemed like I got my PhD. I'm starting getting my PhD of learning about our people and the system. And I see things what it is. So they said, I remember one Black Panther told me, like, you got to sit back and understand what the history is. You got to see it. You got to know it. And you got to attack it. And so that's what I got it from.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. And it's funny. Your experience is almost similar like mine because, growing up, you never, experienced about racism. I didn't start hearing all this until I was probably like in my teens. So me growing up in Harlem, the Mecca, where all our revolutionaries, lived actually, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, so on, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that was the Mecca. So we grew up, you and I, we grew up in that time where you had Sister Soldier, you had, a Public Enemy. We grew up in that time where Black people had to fight back, and it just, nothing has changed. We grew up during the time with Rodney Kings and all that stuff, so revolution is in our butt. You know what I'm saying? So, I didn't really, like I said, I really didn't understand. I thought I did until I got into college. And I started to hook up with, conscious brothers. And they were just saying, like, I was just like so amazed, like, so wow. They were just saying, like, yo, if you want to learn, you got to buy these books from the brothers that selling books because you're not going to find it nowhere else. So I was so intrigued of learning my history, and I realized that we was robbed. So no one can't tell me nothing. So I'm starting to listen to the scholars like Brother Jabari. He's breaking it down. And even now, like I said, I'm still learning. You never stop learning. And I like to share
Never
information.
stop learning, no.
I don't charge. I don't do all that stuff. No, you can't. So when you hear me now challenging people, just like when I challenged the Muslims and the Moors and all that stuff, they're telling you fairy tale stuff.
Yeah. I was there when the New Year's Eve. Y'all was there New Year's Eve. I was giving you questions too. Yo, ask me about such about that because and you always well. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna say it like this, bro. We gonna talk offline. I want to bring you back because I
Mm-hmm.
want to continue about Malcolm X because there's something that is very, very bothering me about the Nation of Islam. And it's been at me for ever since I could say when I was like, I said about 9 or 10, around the time that Elijah Muhammad passed and stuff like that. I want to go talk about that and I'm going to want to bring you back. So I want to talk more about that. But that's in the near future, y'all. That's in the near future. I'm going to bring him back. And so we're going to give it. Now, I want you to tell the people, talking about Harlem back in the days, in Brooklyn and in the whole New York City, why tell the people we have scholars that come to our city free of charge and give us the knowledge, even though we was giving them money. Tell them how it was very important of that time. We had scholars that known around the world that come to New York and giving us, and I'm talking about giving us knowledge, how to defeat the system, how to work it together, and connect the ancient times to these times right now. Tell the people, please.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they really didn't come to the schools like that, but I think we had talk shows back in those days. Remember the Donahue shows, the
Yeah.
Sally Rap, they had Khalid Muhammad coming on there. And a lot of those talk shows really opened my eyes on a lot of things, right? You had even when you had the Hebrew Israelites versus the KKK, right? So you had learned a lot of that stuff on TV was different. So when I couldn't wait to come home and watch these important, our people breaking stuff down, talking about our history, talking about, what was going on. You know what I'm saying? We had educated, look, the rappers were educated.
Very educated, yes. I agree with
So
that.
very educated. I mean, Ice Cube broke it down at the time. I mean, we had very intelligent people breaking down what was the system doing to us.
Yeah, and
So,
even
yes, yeah. So a lot of these like very you had a lot of speakers that came on here that looked like us, just informing the youth. Because they wasn't coming in our schools. They wasn't doing that. So it was they was, like I said, and a lot of them at the time, and you notice they stopped doing that because a lot of the youth is starting to wake up. They start to fight back. And you notice, and then that's why you don't hear about Sister Soldier no more. They killed Khalid Muhammad.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I just think a lot of the times, I think because there was too many of us was waking up, and now people like me wanted more. I wanted more of that consciousness, so I started going to the books and started, saying, going to, because like I said, we was teaching each other, brother. We didn't
Yeah,
really have people. A lot of our scholars were very young, very
yeah.
young.
Yeah, and also I
So
remember. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, go finish.
no, you good. No, I'm just saying, like, if you look at in the '90s, Sister Soldier, all this, how this young girl was going against what's his name, Carnell West, and all these even Al Sharpton during the time when he was fat. You know, before he sold
Yeah.
out, he was throwing.
Yeah,
He
you, yeah,
was really breaking it down. So
people talking about the 2000s, what he did, but yeah, as you know, almost 30 years before he sold out, he ain't beat that. So he sold out even
yeah.
before that. So you know, but also I want to ask you a question. Now you know we have famous guys to be at the state building. Sometimes they
Mm-hmm.
show up. They
Mm-hmm.
show up at like certain places in Harlem that they also register for free. They be in Brooklyn and parks and stuff. Now I'm
That's
gonna
true.
ask you.
That's true.
I know you've been part of it because we talked. I've been part of it, and so tell the people because you know one of my favorites. You know, one and only. Oh man, like, woo! It's a whole lot, but you go right ahead. You go right ahead. But you know, Brother Henry, um, the one and only our ancestor, Brother Henry Clark. In
Right.
my
Right.
time, I've seen
Oh
his
yeah.
time. Henry Clark, and at that time, people don't know. People at that time in the '80s, he was going blind.
Right. That's true.
He was going
That's true.
blind, and he was doing the top of the head. And so I had well, you know, if I went to see him at least in the '80s, maybe 4 or 5 times, because when he come, it's packed. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when I
Mm-hmm.
come, I have money. Well, money I just get. And I talked to him like 10, 15 minutes one time. And I told him everything. He said, Soldier, you need to come on. You need to be in these streets. And you know, so that's another one, another ancestor that pushed me. And I said, yeah, I told him about my little story of my life and everything. And he said, don't worry, you know, you keep on reading, you keep on doing the day because you on the right track. And so when you had Dr. Henry, I'm talking about our ancestor, I'm talking about one of the best scholars ever that tell you
Mm-hmm.
that a
Right.
young man
Right.
from Brooklyn, New York, that you know, trying to do whatever he can to defeat the system and give you that boost. And he said, you keep on reading, you on the right track. We need brothers like you. You make sure that he's all right. And so when he tell me that, I was in tears because
Mm-hmm.
let's be honest here. We from New York. You know how New York was back then. So when you have this guy that took time to embody the image of a young black man, no matter you from New York, whatever. But I'm talking about me from Brooklyn, New York. Then I'm telling you, I was home.
Right.
I remember I took the train home. I was just in tears. Like Dr. Henry Clark
Mm-hmm.
talked to me. He ain't have to talk to me because I'm there for the knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm there to like do whatever I can to help. But he took the time to stop talking to me. It was one of his agents. He said, "Who you want?" I said, "I want to talk to them, but maybe they don't want." They ain't talk to you. And there was other like big people
Mm-hmm.
saying, well, you don't know, no, you have to wait. So Dr. Henry, you bring that young brother after we finish. And make sure that brother sit in the front when I get this. You know, he always said, when I get this work. He had me because I was in the back. He said, tell
Mm-hmm.
that brother sit right in the front. And they said, well, we said,
Mm.
you sit over there. You know, I want him to sit right here. And I just
Oh.
So think of like this, like I was getting right here, right? My accuracy was right here. Well, after he finished talk to her, it took off.
Mm. Mm.
Dr.
Wow.
Henry Clark, I mentioned when he passed night to that broke my heart.
Mm.
Days,
Yeah, I
go ahead.
never really met. Yeah, I usually see those guys on TV, and that's how I kind of like Dr. Ben and these guys. I used to see all those guys on those are scholars I used to see a lot on certain channels.
Yeah.
My favorite show was Like It Is. I don't know if you remember that.
What?
With Guye
Dr.
Nollywood.
Guye Nollywood. What?
That was my show. I used to watch. I was like, I used to watch that every Sunday religiously.
Stop it. Tell the people how that show was not just New York, but around the country, how that show was very important for us as the people that we is church. To watch. We don't play basketball. We don't do nothing. I play sick. I said, Mom, I want to go watch the Gil. No. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm telling you. And that show was on since 1968.
Mm-hmm.
He had got him Clay Powell.
That
And then
a
he
lot
brought
of
up
scholars used to be on that show.
a lot of scholars. And I'm telling, oh my goodness. And a lot of knowledge. You want to get knowledge for almost 2 hours?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I remember he used to for 3 hours.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, because that show used to come on from 12 to 1.
12 to 1,
every
yeah.
Sunday.
We saw 12 to 1. But when it first, it used to come 3 hours. But they cut it down to some.
Wow.
So that hour, you impact you a lot.
Mm-hmm. Like that was my show.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know about it. Guye Nollywood, I remember when he first spoke about Malcolm. He said he didn't like Malcolm X in the beginning. He thought Malcolm X was. He said he thought Malcolm X was an instigator. Until somebody told him, look, man, and this is after Malcolm got killed. Somebody told me, oh, you got to really listen to him. And one day he said, you know what? I listened to Malcolm, and because he had an opportunity to meet him, remember?
Yes.
He had an opportunity to meet him, and he didn't want to go. But one of his friends, I think he was white at the time. He wanted to go check out Malcolm, and he was like, I'm telling you, you're not gonna like what he was warning his white friend. He said his friend came out whiter than he came in. So when he finally sat down and listened to Malcolm speak, he said his mind opened. He said a cloud just removed, and he said he just regretted not meeting him. He said whatever I thought, I was wrong. So if you notice, every chance he get, he always played Malcolm X, always gave tribute to Malcolm. And I remember that. I was like, wow. And that was so intrigued. And that was my first time. I think this is before the movie even came out.
Yeah, it was.
So right. So then you had the Spike Lee movie and everything. So he kind of really inspired people to really he really launched it off about Malcolm X, the history of Malcolm.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So yeah. Guye Nollywood was he's always having scholars coming on there. That's how I kind of learned about these guys. And that all these when he had these guests on the show, that's how I learned about all those scholars, just by watching his show.
So
he was very important.
Yeah, so safe to say, let me ask you a question before we continue. Is it safe to say that, and I'm thinking just now, when you talk about like it is, that was our library?
What's that again?
I mean, could you actually say that like it is, that was our library for our people?
Of course. I still look. Guye Nollywood, you can see Guye Nollywood on YouTube right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And this guy has a whole archive. And I think in my opinion, I think they should take all his archive, just sharpen it up and put it right back out there. Just put it right back out there. Because this is something that's still needed to this day. Nothing has changed.
Yeah. Now, before we continue, let me tell you this though. He did an excellent job about the also our ancestor Adam Clay Powell. when he critiqued Adam Clay. Adam Clay Powell, I think he's the only congressman that was in charge of all committees. They actually said throughout the years that he pushed his career that he been in Congress for almost 40 years, that he pushed over 100 different bills. Think about it, people. And plus, when they took the seniority away, right? In 68, they said the people in Harlem sent him back to Congress. He was a lame duck back then, but they sent him back to Congress in 68. Okay, oh, you think you could do that? And they sent him New York. I mean, matter of fact, Harlem did too, but New York sent him. We sent him back to Congress, and you know what happened to that, and they bloody his name and stuff. And the one who bloody his name later on in the mid 70s, they ended up got caught up in scandal and they had to leave Congress too. So, but he did a marvelous job on the late great Adam Clay Powell. And he also was right on the side of Malcolm X too. And always talk about Black Power and stuff. And also he did a speech. I never forget, it was in High Bridge, the Bronx. And what he was saying is this. Every time I think about it, I get it. He said, I don't care. You poor. Food stamps. You deserve it. I'm going to fight for you. You deserve it. God's on your side. Don't never think that we gonna get some stuff for you so you deserve it. And when I hear that, I told people go back in the Bronx, and I told people look it up. If I ever gonna pull it up, I gotta learn how to share everything. I don't put it touch you because there is a time back in the late 50s, early 50s, that they still consider us second-class citizens. Us as Black people all around this country. Not just happened just in the South, but it happened in the North too. And I don't know that he was running for Congress at the time or he was just in Congress, but then he said that. I said, wow. And every time I think about that, because that's what he had to do back then, because they wasn't giving us none. They wasn't.
And
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, you're right. I was speaking. Well, first of all, I just want to say this. When we was talking about scholars, right? Mm-hmm. I met two of the scholars from Noble's Guye Nollywood show, and I'm gonna show you a picture. Okay. Remember Joy DeGroy?
Fair use. Go ahead, bro.
Remember that sister Joy DeGroy?
Yes.
This is the picture. I don't know if you can see it.
See. You have to move it back a little bit. I remember Joy DeGroy. She was a regular.
Yeah, this is me and her.
Wow.
Damn.
I can see it.
Yeah, that's me and her. And you can see it like that.
Yeah, I can see it now. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
That's me and her. And she came up with the post-traumatic slave syndrome. Remember that?
Yes. She was a founder of it.
Right. So I met her because of him.
Mm. She's one of my famous ones too. Scholars.
Yes, she's a scholar. A lot. That's how I became aware of our scholars, because of him. You see what I'm saying? So, mm-hmm. So, and there was another brother too. I'm gonna show him in a minute.
Fair use.
You see him. You see him too. You saw him before too. I think he's still alive. I think he's still living. Because he was. Let me see. Let me show his name. Give me 1 second. What's that brother's name? But when you were saying, I'm gonna pull it up. But when you were saying how they wasn't giving us nothing, you're right. They so-called freed us and left us out to dry. So I was speaking to this one brother, he's up there in Asia. He said, look, he said, this country did not take care of us. He said, when black folks had to hunt, we had to eat almost anything to survive. So, and I said, damn, they did that to y'all like that. I was like, yeah. He said he had to hunt squirrels and possums. We had to eat whatever it walks, we had to eat it. He said black people had to survive. He said America wasn't, they didn't give a damn about us. So I don't have a problem. I grew up on public assistance. I did not like it.
True.
But you know what? I survived off of it.
Yeah, it was surviving, and memories that had different color books and stuff. But the purple one, that's the one, stuff like that. But I was raised on that too, and so.
But we earned that, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
in a way, we earned that.
Yeah, we do. But how some people talk. I just tell people you was not around the time, so I tell people right now, you don't know. You know what I mean? Oh, you were 7. I said no. I said if you're not with those times, if you not know those times, you can't say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about like you said, like minutes. I mean, almost 50 minutes ago, it was all about surviving. It ain't all about I ain't gonna take it. Or it's all about surviving, and that's what Adam Clay Powell was talking about. The speech that I'm talking, he gave in Highbridge, the Bronx, in the early 50s. He said, "You deserve that."
Harlem was a ghost town. It was like a war zone where I was at. So when you look at it was a war zone. I mean, we grew up. That was during the crack epidemic.
Brooklyn too.
Brooklyn too. Yeah, Brooklyn.
The whole New York City was
Anywhere with black people was at, it was a struggle.
It was a struggle. So you know what I'm saying. So you gotta always think. I mean, even around the country at the time, but anybody deal with black people, stuff like that. It was happening right there. But that's good. But another question I want to ask you: How you got into the organization that you're in right now, and how do you, when you little, how do you become the person you are now? And I'm talking about politically. And now I'm gonna ask you another question if you missed, but we talking politically now. How you come about, you Pan African or pro-black and stuff, and Hotep. Explain to us, please.
Okay, good question. Well, like when I was growing up, I didn't really know about Marcus Messiah Garvey growing up, but I did know about the Pan African flag. And until I got old enough, I learned about more about Marcus Garvey. I just bought his book, Philosophies and Opinions, which to me, it basically, I've learned I really have a solid, more of a solid information where he stood. So he was the only black man that drew in almost 2 million African people as united to 2 million. 2 million at his time. He was the only one. He was the first one that I would say not only cleaned us up, but gave us some sort of political power. And then he wanted economic power. So that's what my foundation is based on, off of his philosophy. I want us to have political and economic power. And what I'm trying to do is push that unification of us living here and us in Africa. We have a country called Liberia. Our ancestors found a country called Liberia on West Africa. So that's technically our country. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to ignore that. And that's what Marcus Garvey was saying, that since we have a country, let's build on that. Let's unite with our brothers and sisters over there, and let's start working together as one. It's real simple. But because you got these so-called FBAs, these Tariq Nasheed followers, I just did a video Saturday, talking about how hypocritical these people are. You know what I'm saying? The Dan Callaways and all these little fruit gazy dudes talking about we're not African people. What are you talking about? And then when you ask them, well, where's your proof that we're not? They can't give you that. They can't show no proof. So now I realize these people, you're gonna have coons and coonettes that's go up against the political structure of what we're trying to do. They don't want us to unify our people in Africa. They've been fighting against that since Jimmy Carter. They said that this is they put out a decree to not let African ascendants in this country to unite with African people in Africa. It was a decree. So now,
Yeah.
because white folks couldn't do it, they did every propaganda they tried to do to get us to not to unify with our people in our motherland. So now they're using our own people to do it. And this is what we up against now. So when I got into the movement, I don't have an organization, but I know I do align myself with people that represent the RBG, because that's our flag. That's our flag. Remember, Marcus Garvey came up with he said the reason why he said everybody got a flag. It was a song that white people came out talking about everybody got a flag except the coon. So Marcus Garvey said, well, we're gonna have a flag that represent where we from. Red, black, and green. Instead of because the red, white, and blue represent Great Britain. That's a British colors. That's not our colors. I'm not Britain. The red, white, and blue is Britain color, because that's where white people came from. And the stripes is Greek. That's the Greek flag. If you look at the Greek flag, the Greece flag, that's what if you look at the United States flag and the Greek flag, that they took that design and just put red, white, and blue on it. So they did not forget where they come from. So why do we have to forget where we come from? So that's what I'm pushing. I'm pushing to us where we can rep it our flag, and that will be our flag to represent our continent. So that's the movement, and what, like I said, reading Marcus Garvey really opened my eyes on a lot of stuff. Really opened my eyes, and that's what I became more. Because I was off of YouTube for 10 years, and yeah, I was off of YouTube for 10 years. I started YouTube at 2008, and then I just started. I really didn't have anything going too much. I was always going up against interracial dating and all that other stuff, but I really didn't have nothing concrete. So what I did, I would just off of YouTube. I didn't make no videos. I still have my channel, so I would put concert videos or whatever. But then when I started back in, I think around 2018, I have more of a concrete foundation what I wanted to discuss and want to share, because I was doing that 10 years. I had to really, study who I was and where our people come from. So you learn about the African society, you learn about African town and little Africa. Our people knew where they came from. They knew. So yeah, man. So that's what really I became my own scholar. I had to become my own scholar because I learned from the best. You know what I'm saying? So we have to carry that torch. We just have to carry the torch. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to carry that torch to inspire the new generation. So all that stuff that we have learned, I collected. Malcolm X, colleague Muhammad, all those Joy DeGroy, all those scholars, all those people that we learned. So I kept it in me.
Yeah, and also
Dr.
Yeah, also
Dr. Ben,
Dr. Francis,
I learned
Dr. Francis Crescent.
Crescent, yes, all those people I held, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna use that to share to the world. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. So yeah, man. So that's what inspired me. I think because I read Marcus Garvey, because he was the founder. He's one of the founders of Pan-Africanism. because Pan Africanism goes before him. It goes before
Gotcha.
him, and I didn't
Gotcha.
even know that until I learned until recently.
Got you. Now we're gonna start getting out. We're gonna start get out the question. So anybody that has a question, you can give it out right now. And also, brother Guy Nollywood, he gonna ask questions about me. We're gonna keep it going. Coco T said, question: how do you about encourage our young people, enlighten them with the knowledge that is not taught in schools? That's an excellent question. You on mute. You on mute.
Sorry about that. Yeah, so to answer that question, because I think that was an excellent question, how do you go about encouraging our youth and people of enlightening them? So I would say meet them where they at. Meet them in the, if you see them in the streets, encourage them, you know what I'm saying? Talk to them. In schools, if the, like I said, this is, because like I said, these kids are out here lost. They don't know who they are. They don't know. And like I said, and make it fun. Teach them about, hey, do you know about this person? Did you know the first person was who made a car, who made the traffic light was a black man that looks like you, a black woman that looks like you. You know what I'm saying? Make it fun, make it interesting. That's how kids become intrigued. You know where the first paper come from? And I think when that's what how I learned. It was a brother from Haiti taught me with the first paper. He said, "Did you know the first paper came from Africa?" And it was we had long scrolls. Did you know how black people used to clean their teeth? Like I was really intrigued, and I was only 17 years old.
And
so that's how you do. You got to make it fun. You can't
make it. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, brother.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Oh no, no. Oh, I thought you was gonna say something. Okay. So yeah, I was just wondering. Yeah, that's how you. Yeah, that's how you get to the youth. When you see these kids, and you have even if it's your own kids. Remember, education starts from home. Start from your home. Start from your own kids. Because one thing about kids, they would spread that information to other kids. Hey, guess what I learned today? Hey, did you know this? And it becomes more like, make it like a cure. We already when it's something negative, it spreads like a cancer, right? But now that now use that whatever knowledge, use that cure to spread like a cure to get rid of the cancer. So that's what we have to do. Start from home. Start with your kids and let them teach their peers. That's another way too.
Yeah, Coco Tina said children
Go
are
ahead, brother.
natural. Children are natural sponges. Let me ask you the other question: how you go about learning about the nation that you in?
How did I learn about the nation I'm in? Like I said, I learned about by reading. Listen to, like I said, listen to, these talk shows. Like I said, I was already intrigued in the 90s. So being that I was already knowledgeable and listen to intelligent brothers like you, like Brother Bakari, I learned a lot.
I appreciate that. To put me in that. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a look. At the end of the day, I'm a student. Then I'm a teacher. So I want to just let you know I'm a student first.
Definitely.
And I'm a teacher later. So I learned from the best. So that's what I'm saying. Like that's how I became equipped, and I'm still like that. I want to still spread that love like that, to our people.
Yeah, but you know what? Yeah, but you know what I learned. Brother Bakari, shout out to you. You know what I learned from y'all? The continuation of Pan African. He must have had a telephone call, whatever it is. But let me welcome
Yeah,
to my channel.
I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move into
Huh?
the living room real quick. But yeah, go ahead, talk, brother.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Welcome.
move into the living room. But go ahead, talk.
Okay. Welcome to my channel, the underrated doctors. Yours truly, the number one grinder. One of the best kept secret on best. One of the best kept secrets on social media. We got quite a few people here. Please come in. We gonna ask, put your questions down if you want to answer. Brother Bakari, always a pleasure to come here and everything. We got Coco Tina, and please come. And this is a chop up. This is a chop up. God Nollywood Jr. chop it up with me. Number one grinder on the darkness round table. Yes, you see it. He said he gonna move in the living room. So we gonna give him some time to talk and everything. And it's very important to get back to our roots. Very important to understand and get back to who we are. And it's very important that the black man and the black woman, if we're gonna fix these problems, it's got to be up to the black man and the black woman. We got to fix these problems, and we still got to fight for our rights. You know, people say be a part of the human family because this world do not want us to be, ain't accept us to be the human family. You know, we are the original one. So, and it's good. I'm happy that I had this brother on, and it's a pleasure. And Brother Bakari, I want you to go listen to him. And so this is I'm telling you like that this is history in the making. This is and we need to do we gotta fight, y'all. We gotta understand this evil system do not want us to be together. They don't. This evil system want to give us abundance. And they feel that abundance is enough and everything, but we got to understand it. And they want to separate classes from us. Oh, I'm not going to let you because you this and that, or have this job or whatever it is. But we have to hold on. Let me get you in. Let me see. Yes. Oh, okay, you there. So we have to understand we got work to do. We got what to do. All right, you can go back. You come back, bro. God now. Come back in. You muted.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically I became my own scholar. I had to learn from the best in order to before I start, spreading some awareness and some consciousness to the world. You know what I'm saying? And we have plenty of good scholars like Brother Jabari. I listen to him on Sarnetta show. I like listening to him. He's well informed. So I don't listen to the pseudoism. I don't get into that. I don't listen to the religious radicals and all that stuff because that stuff is not helping us. So I came up with the RBG Nation. I say, because we are a nation of people. We are a nation. So in order, and that's what Marcus Garvey was saying, that we need to come as a nation. And Umar Johnson said something really, really important. He said, America don't respect populations, they respect nations. And I know our people want to be respected. Yeah. So why not come together under one flag as a nation and rep it and rep our motherland, where we come from, because we come from land. We don't come from no slavery. We not come from no institution. We're not no descendants of slavery. Our people were enslaved. There's a big difference. We're not Slavic people. Slave means Slavic. We're not Slavic people. We come from somewhere. So our people were enslaved. Our people were enslaved Africans.
Well, I'm gonna play a devil advocate. You know me.
Go ahead. I'm ready for you, brother.
That's that ain't come from me.
Okay.
Everything come from you guys. Y'all with you. Well, I'm gonna go play devil advocate to other people. Well, brother, hey, I'm talking about as a token black. You know what a token black is. So we gonna leave it like that. That's why he's laughing, because he know what I'm talking about. Yeah, hey, they say we don't come from Africa. They said, listen, we should what we should do. We don't need no reparations. We got reparations right here. What we gotta do. We killing each other, and that's a lie, because they are white people kill more each other and everything. And so I'm gonna put it out there. But we're gonna get back to the token black, devil advocate here. Yeah, but what is you talking about? You up and where's you talking about? You trying to get us killed. You revolutionary. Where's you trying to? Where's you trying to? Are you eating well? why are you? You know what I'm saying? Where's you talking about? You know what I'm saying? What's wrong? What's wrong to mingle with some people don't look like? What's wrong with that? Huh? What's wrong? What's wrong that we what's wrong with the rainbow here? What's wrong? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with we overcome John Crow? What's wrong with that? They build out they build out neighborhoods ever since the late 2000s and stuff like that. I mean, late 1990s and go into that. What's wrong to clean up around here and stuff like that? So what, we lose our culture? We never had no culture. I don't understand why you doing this to us. What you trying to do? You don't want this money. This money right here. We earn that. That's our reparation. I'm throwing out there as a double as a token black, and then when God and I were going to answer that, I'm going to tell you why it's wrong thinking and wrong saying. But I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just playing the devil advocate, because we got to do that sometimes.
That's right.
Go ahead, brother.
I've heard a lot of that rhetoric, and then I tell them, I said, then what have you gained from that? What have you gained? What do you have to say that it's yours? Because at the end of the day, you still got to work a 9 to 5. At the end of the day, you still got to work. You still got to bust your ass. You know what I'm saying? So what have you gained of being, kissing your enemy's ass all the time? And then when you challenge them, the only thing they can sit there and say is, to me, it's just like when somebody been in a fake habitat too long. You ever seen a lion that been in a fake habitat too long? They become more lazy than anything. You never see if you put them out in the wildlife, they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do, and this is how some of our people, they become so what they call domesticated, where they don't know what to do. They like to be fed, and whatever crumbs that the enemy gives them, they okay with it, and they brag about it. They brag about eating slop all the time, which is bad for them. So by them saying, well, we don't need this and we got it good, and being African, I've heard it all, like, oh, thank God for the white man for bringing us over there, and they for civilizing them, and I'm like, what? So, but you getting gunned down. You getting gunned down worse. They gunned down an animal.
Yeah,
no, that's all right. But it's
I mean, sometimes you got, brother. You know what I'm saying? You gotta laugh to be instead of be angry and hurt. But I'm gonna get back to you. I'm gonna get back because I'm gonna explain something. I'm gonna say something. But Coco Tina, I'm gonna be fair. Coco Tina, she have a question. When you think of reparations, how can you get more people to come together as a nation so that we can overcome? That's also excellent question.
I think number one, as far as reparations, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think we do deserve reparations, but I don't think that it just should be a United States thing. I think it should be a global thing. Any black person that, to me, that was part of slavery. I mean, look at our people in the islands, how they suffering. You know, our people were separated, you know what I'm saying, and been sent all over the world. So what happens, I think, number one, I think we should sue all these businesses. I think we should sue all these businesses that took our inventions, our people inventions. That's number one. So all these white people that patent the black man, black woman stuff, I think we should sue them. As long as we got records to prove it. We got the names that prove it. So they can't say, oh, it didn't happen. So they took all these inventions. I think that's the first thing that we should do. Because they making buku money off of our inventions.
That's true.
And we never got paid for it. That's how you keep us down.
Yeah.
Take because you taking away our wealth. These white folks did not invent nothing. And we have the records that prove. They have the names that invented the hell. We have a brother that invented the potato chip. It was a black man that invented the potato chip. We already know about the Patterson automobile that was invented by a black man. We already know who invented the traffic light. What do you think those colors stand for? The red, gold, and green. What does those colors stand for?
And also the soul machine.
Yes. So if we came together and said, you know what, and took it into like hell to the UN, they will have no choice but to pay all those descendants of those families.
Well, I'm gonna go back token black devil's advocate here. Bruh, I got a good job. I live in a nice neighborhood. You know, those people, I get along with these people. They let me know I do a good job. Look, I get a nice paycheck. I drive a nice car, live in a nice neighborhood. My kids don't have to be around all this. I don't want to be. Listen, I don't want to be around people that hurt themselves. I want to be comfortable. I like to be in those meetings. I like to be wanted. Why are you trying to take away from me, bro? Why are you bringing this stuff to try and get me fired? Why are you trying to do that? My kids ain't well. I know some people, they get promotions. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do? You talking about this Marcus Garvey stuff?
It's very selfish.
Francis Crescent stuff. Where's you trying to do? What are you trying to do? We gotta get where we need. And the ones don't want it, they don't want it. But this African stuff is out of date. Why? You got the Democratic, you got the Democratic, and you got Republican. Then we could make a change right then and there. And I'm playing double ag as a token black.
But the thing is, they're missing one thing. This is not individual thing. This is not an individual thing. This is us as a collective. We're not talking about somebody who made it and all this other stuff. We're talking about a collective of we talking about institutional racism, where it's effective. So you talking about maybe 1 or 2 people that made it. But what about us as a whole? What about the majority of us that's struggling every day? You know what I'm saying? What happened to that? You know what I'm saying? So
I want
yeah.
to get
So
mine,
yeah.
brother. I want to get mine, brother. I don't care what this. I don't care about this nation stuff. I want to get mine. Why not? Why not? If they don't want to learn, they don't have to learn, brother. I don't care. Again, I'm playing as you know, token black. I'm just letting people know.
Yeah,
I'm letting people know.
I've heard it.
This what they saying, y'all.
Yeah,
and they don't care. And they don't care. Long as they family is good, the black man or black woman is fine. I'm not gonna play no more. I'm not gonna play no more advocate on that. But I want people to understand this is what we hearing. Mm-hmm. I want people to understand that what me and the brother talking about as a nation, a lot of us as a people, they don't want to cross the other side, bro, because if they want to cross the other side, that means it could be bloodshed.
A lot of us don't want to fight, and that's the thing. A lot of people don't fight. We don't want to make no sacrifices.
We don't want to make sacrifices.
That's
so
the thing.
We talking, right, so we got to understand one thing. When you talk about you going to go against this evil system, there are, you know what I'm saying, there's a price to pay for that.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to understand that very loud and clear. So when you had deals with other black men, had deals with other black women, or deal with other families, you have to understand that there's a lot of us do not want that change. They said they want that change, but I'm gonna do a little more advocate. But bro, you know, hey, look, man, I got a nice house. I got picket fence. Stuff like that. What's wrong having that? I mean, I understand what you're saying, but do you want me to donate? I could donate, but let me say this. When you say that, that means you think that money, when you get, I'm just using you as an example, you get to that brother, he's supposed to shut up. And so for me, I don't want that money.
Right. It's dirty money.
It's dirty money because you do not want to get the bad money to help push change. You want certain change to keep people in power that oppress us.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like us. 10 Vals, how you doing?
Shout out to 10 Vals.
10 Vals. So shout out to you. So we have to understand one thing, that all black folks ain't good folks. All good money ain't good money.
That's right. That's right.
We gotta understand that, and so and then we gotta understand that
even Chuck D said, "Every brother ain't a brother.
Every brother ain't no brother, and every sister ain't
no sister." And I take it further than that. Every sister ain't no sister.
Nope. And so we know with that. So and like again, anybody that wants to ask questions, go right ahead. And also, brother, you want to ask questions about me? Yeah. You can go right ahead.
Okay, I got a few questions I want to ask you.
Go ahead.
What inspired you to get into consciousness? What do you consider yourself? Number one, what do you represent? Number two, and what inspired you to become those things?
Brother, you gonna make me take on my Yankee hat, motherfucker. That guy, man. You know what I mean? Have to like, woo, let the costumes. Well, basically, I don't consider myself all black. I mean, what you doing at the? I feel, you know, I consider myself a lost African in this country and fight for the rights of our people in this country and globally. I'm a warrior. As you heard me, I said, I'm a well-rounded warrior. You know, and so for me, they said, why you coin the well-rounded warrior? Because the well-rounded warrior, you got from head to toe, you got to be on point about our people. And you have to, like you and Brother Picard, you got to absorb that information. and other sisters. We gotta absorb it, and we have to understand only the chosen few willing to listen. Only the chosen few willing to stick their neck out for the truth. Only the chosen few have to understand you're not gonna get the notoriety that you should. So I understand this, so it doesn't mean that I don't support the brother we do, because I do support what the brother he's doing. It doesn't mean I don't support that, because as you know, there are some pro black ain't pro blacks. You know, and I know that. And it ain't. They don't know the real meaning of it, because they're making money. They figure they put Africa up there and they put our people up there. Oh, they suffering, and they're making money off us instead of understand the history, the struggle, the knowledge, the spirituality, the culture, all wrapped in one, the movement. Everything when I say about the African movement, the psyche, we have to understand the thinking. We got to change the way of thinking, but we got to change the psyche, because the psyche has the sad thing about it. Our African psyche, it's not transformed into us. It's not manifested into us that it should. And we became soft. And we want to take one thing out the other. But all the components that I named, it goes together. And when you go together, you become a fearless person. Are you willing? I always say this. Are you willing to die for the cause? Are you willing to die to be a martyr for so other ones could push on? Are you willing? Are you willing to push on? Are you willing to put your faith? Listen, because our scholars, their ancestors that had done it. Are we continue to work to make sure what they say updated, but make sure the message is there. Make sure what they saying is very, very, very true. We got to keep Marcus Garvey going, and them other scholars we got to keep them going. Because there are some fake ass scholars for the last 20 and 30 years. They want to make quotes of them, but they're not telling the whole story. They're not all about quotes. We have to understand that. They're all about an African movement globally. And we have to understand that. So, to answer your question, brother, that's what I'm all about. Well, I'm a team player. For our people. I don't have to be a leader all the time. You got a blueprint to move a certain way for our people. I put my blueprint in my pocket. God Nollywood, let's go. That's what I believe. A lot of us want to be leaders, but we don't know how to sit back and let a person lead. And you never know. They might, and while the movement's getting bigger, we might need that blueprint. But we don't want to do it because we want to sit back and we think we want to be doggone comfortable. And at the same time, some black man and some black woman, I get to that, but I get to that another time because it's about you. But I say this, that's what I'm all about. Y'all said, let this lost African fight for our people. I'm a lost African. That even Africans in the motherland still don't think that we are descendants of Africa. And they need to go too. I dare you say that. That we came in against our will. And that all nationalities had make money off us. All nationalities in this world had make money off us. And then to this day, they still keep their riches in where they at, in their treasure. They still enslave us right now around the world. So you doggone right, I'm going against the system. I'm not afraid of this evil system. Because like I said before, and I made this up, and when I was like a very, very young boy, this evil system gotta take me out. They gotta take me out. Because I'm fighting. Because the ones that are famous or not so famous have paid the price. So I'm standing on the soil of our lost African brothers and sisters that want to have something that we have a little right now. So I gotta pay respect for that, bro. You gotta take me out, bro. Yeah. This evil sister guy, I gotta go. I don't mind. Time to go down and go. If that's answer your question.
Well, you know, and I feel you. You know, like I said, I will never. I fight for my people everywhere where they need assistance. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just like I'm a warrior too.
Right.
You know, I don't think our people were lost, brother. I mean, if you look at the African society, how we talking about the 1700s, our people knew where they came from. So I don't want you to think that our people didn't know or they were that.
Oh, okay.
They were that, you know, brainwashed. No, they knew.
Yeah.
You know, why would they
I can understand what you're saying.
Why would they have an African town in Georgia?
Yeah.
Why would they have a little Africa in South Carolina? Our people knew where they came from. I mean, I can go on and on and on.
Yeah, you're right.
So
yeah.
you're not lost at all.
You know what I said? Let me explain why I said I'm lost.
Okay.
And I'm glad you cleared up. I said I'm a lost African because of this country policies. That's why I said I'm a lost African. Of this country policies. The continued policies that keep on oppressing us as Africans in this country, African descent in this country. So I do consider myself a lost African. But let's be sure. So I want to clear this up, make sure of this country. So I'm glad that what you say. I'm glad. I'm happy with that. But yeah, this country, y'all consider me lost, okay. But I'm still gonna fight. I'm still gonna fight for our people. It's not gonna stop. You know, hey, I'm like you. I'm still learning too. I'll be 57 years old in June, and it's scary when I starting to really, you know, step into elder status. Oh, y'all effed up. Don't agree. Y'all effed up. What I know right now, and even like 50 years ago, and I'm still learning like you learning. Oh man, a lot of stuff. Whoo, y'all effed up. Because we come in and stuff like that. And with any more questions you want to ask, go ahead.
How do you feel about African ancestry, the DNA? How you feel about DNA?
I feel DNA is very important. Without DNA, without DNA, who we are. There are still people said that, you know, at the size of Africa. We know Africa and Bella, you know what I'm saying, is bigger. You know, Paul Custis, thanks for coming. And we understand that Africans, you know, that around this around this globe. Let's be honest here. You look at the late 1800s. You had big Chinese, tall Chinese. Where do you think they come from? You know what I mean? So what do you think that like say something like I'm gonna say it anyway, but like them Indians that enslaved us back in the mid 1800s, Dr. Clark Anson was talking about of the 1865 treaty that the United States had paid these Native Indians to enslave us. Okay. Look it up. It's public document. And also, Dr. Clark Anson also talking about there are treaties even 30, 40s even before that that land up to 1865 treaty, and they still making money off us right now. So if you go to New York, you're Long Island and somewhere, you see them Africans, you got to understand, we was enslaving them. But people don't like to hear that. We was enslaved in New York. You know, the only way we can't even get citizenship. The United States was paying the Indians to enslave us. My grandmother, she came for a Cherokee, you know, in North Carolina, stuff like that. And I started like realizing like
the Cherokee Indian was the biggest slave owners.
yeah. When I learned that back in the maybe late 70s, and I was like, whoa. So my grandma like, but a lot of them had to move. That's what a lot of them had to move up north to find land because hey, they were slave owners. We have to understand. See, these are not stuff I'm making up. It's public document.
There's a book called Black Slave and Red Masters. You can look it up. It's a book called Black Slaves and Red Masters.
Red Masters. Yeah. And I urge y'all, if you wanna, I say I'm gonna put it like this. You know what I'm saying, bro. You read that book, you're gonna get angry. No. What's going on? Why are you frozen? Hold up. I'll be back. Hold up. I'll be back.
Hello?
Hold on, I'll be back. Stay right there.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect.
All right, yeah, it got stopped. So I forgot what
Now you were saying that about
the Indians?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we gotta understand who you think came up with the 10 with the 10% Indians. We gotta understand that we talk about political the DC Democrats. They play a big role to make sure that the money was not coming back of the Africans in this country. And then throughout the years, that quite few nationalities had paved, had gained revenue from our backs of our people. Every nationality in this country got reparations off our backs. Every nationality had took their money to build their country outside the United States off our backs. And so understand that the class he broke it down too.
That's facts, big facts.
And understand the president we have right now. I want you understand now. Understand this senator named this racist Strom Thurmond. I know you heard of him, right? He's one of those started the DC Democrats back in the late 1920s. You know who he is? That's Biden processed. His mentor. So I always call that president we have, he is a second generation DC Democrat. It's not what no one grind to say. You check it out yourself. All see, that's see, God and I, when you be starting, man, you be you something about you see. Nah, but I'm just saying, people, this is public documents. This is not where I'm making things up. This is not what God and I, well, he can tell you because he heard he say he's a student. If he knows I'm wrong, he would tell me I'm wrong. It's documented. How the DC Democrats had disfranchised the northern part of the United States. Make sure the average African of those states would not get nothing. That's why Adam Lane Power was very important. Because he had monopoly, he had to break that up. And they didn't like that. He one of those, boy, you need to stay. No. So understand what I'm saying. That I don't have no respect for Indians. Because you took our land. And you want to make it seem, and I know people want to put the white woman up there, and okay, you could do that. But the red man, you know what you did to us. You know what you did. And that's why you go through turmoil like that for hundreds of years, because you know what you did to people of African descent in this country. You know what you did. See, because people underestimate the African spirit. You know what I'm talking about, brother, because you talk about it. You fail to understand that African spirit is real. When they get you, because you didn't did good for Africans. So understand what I'm ask about. Hey, Blessing, what's up, brother? Thanks for coming. And so understand what I'm saying is this, that you know what I'm talking about, because we work, because we do with each other a long time, and I don't give an F about this, man. Y'all got everything coming to y'all. Y'all got everything coming to y'all because what you did, y'all accept that dirty money to enslave us. And you enslave us almost 100-some years. There are some people say it's a little longer than that. And they said a little longer than that. I accept that. And so
they were also the dog catchers too. They were the ones that if a slave had run away, they needed them to catch us with their dogs because they knew the land.
They knew the land, right?
So they were the hunters.
They also were the hunters too, and they got a nice little penny catchers too. So understand how the money they saved up and they bought this land and stuff. But understand this is our land. But they fail to understand the land that they took, the land they stole from the African soil, that's part of African spirit in the ground, yo. It's shaking. And so get back to fill up Joe Biden. That's what he did. But we got to understand he never changed. He just got older. Look what it. Before we continue, let's go one thing better. You know what happened in the United States, how they're pushing drugs in our community. with the Nicaraguan government. Paid it. Oliver North act like he had nothing to do with it. He was head of the CIA. Guess who got him off? Good old Joe Biden. At that time, he was the senator of Delaware. That's the same one, a few years later in the early 90s, signed that bill. So he never did nothing for African people in this country. And along the way, he had pushed the policy of the DC Democrats that I talked about in the late 1920s. He had pushed it. And sometimes some of us people, we got caught into it, and look what happened. That's why I don't spread them, bro. I don't spread them.
I mean, look what he did with when the Haitians came over here for refuge. Look how he treated them. But when these Iranians or these Pakistan or whatever these Arab-looking white people came over here, the Mexicans and all these other people he gave money to. But these people said, even when Barack Obama was in office, when reparation come up for us, they come up with all these excuses.
Mm-hmm.
But you sending billions of dollars to Israel. Where is this money coming from?
For years, since 1948. Ever since 1948.
For years, billions. And then you hear Barack Obama sending $700 billion to Israel.
Mm-hmm.
So for them to say they don't have no money to give us, I think that's a joke. They playing us every day. Exactly. And black folks, we fall for it, and we keep voting these evil bastards. And Barack Obama is not black. And that's sad that our people voted for a mutt who did not like black people. And also, he was a homosexual. It came out. It was a white guy came out and said, yeah, I've been with him. I could pull that up. When I show stuff, I don't never lie. I'm not a pseudoism. I bring documentation. I'm not a Dan Calloway. Dan Calloway is a fraud. He's the only fat piece of crap that actually thinks he's an Indian. And people fall for that crap.
And this is the thing about, before I continue, right? Can you help me with this, please? Because I heard, I'm glad you brought that up, Easy India. Help me out. When we just talk about Indians, right? Did we say that they enslave us? How you gonna be with certain people that enslave your people? How you claim that?
I can answer that. You know why? When you've been beat down so much, you look at your oppressors as gods, and you want to be them. You want to be powerful. So what do? You think Native Indians are powerful? Yeah, I want to be a Native Indian. I got some white blood in me. I'm part German. So that's what they want to be. They want to be anything they think is power. They want to be connected to that. And they look at themselves as powerless. They look at black as being inferior. Where our culture, black is divine. It has nothing to do with race. It has something to do with divinity. We always knew that the color black was connected to power. There's a reason why the black cat was always worshipped. The goddess Basset. People need to look that up. There's a reason why I have a black cat. It's symbolic. But because they look at themselves, because they listen to their enemy, they listen to their enemy, of course the enemy going to feel like they're the shit. Of course they're going to think they're number one. Of course everybody's going to think their race is better than the next race. That's just how it is.
Yeah, and also we gotta remember this: what the Webster dictionary talks about: black or white. White is pure, black is evil.
And who created
It's
and that's who came from Webster, a white man.
right. So they go always their own interpretation of and everything. And people say, no grinder. You not look it up. It's in any dictionary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, the Webster dictionary hasn't changed. I mean, there's different. Changed. Yeah, that has different dictionaries, but we just talking about the Webster dictionary. That has not changed.
It has not changed. You look it up and say it right now. So we inferior now?
Well, I mean, and Abraham Lincoln even said, he said, as long as y'all black people stay in this country, they're always going to be a superior race and inferior race. See, white people, that's another thing too. White people always told the truth.
And we still
they said, because the Nation of Islam, I can't stand them. I'm sorry to say it, but I cannot stand the Nation of Islam. They fed us this lie to well, the white man's the devil. He tells us the lies, or he mixed the truth with the lies. No, the white man told the truth. If he said if he's going to conquer a race of people, that's what he's going to do, and he did it. So he's telling you every day. He telling you every day that he don't like you. He don't respect you. When they asked Barack Obama about reparations, not Barack Obama, of Joe Biden, he said, he told you. He said, well, if I have to give it to you, I have to give it to the Native Indians.
That enslave us.
And Negroes and stupid Negroes still voted for him. 90%. And then you're crying, and then I'm going, I voted, just like with Barack Obama. I voted for him, and he didn't do nothing for black people. And I got to hear that nonsense. I'm tired of hearing that. Every 4 or 8 years, you hear the same old pathetic talk. And guess what? They're not going to give it to you. Don't vote. Don't vote. And we need to start sticking together. We need to take care of ourselves. It's every race for itself. That's what they call it, a race. They're not stupid. We're in a race. If you want respect, we have to come together. We have to put all that bullshit to the side. Put your religion to the side. If you're Muslim, put that to the side. If you're Christian, put that to the side. I don't even know why black people even go to with those religions, because those religions was pushed on us, was forced on us. People always talk about the transatlantic slave trade, but what about the sub-Saharan slave trade? Mm-hmm. And then you had this Wesley Muhammad. He's going to talk negative about the Bible. Don't want to talk about his Quran. The Bible is not holy. But you always quote from the Bible, which is considered paganism. So you quote from the Bible, and then you're going to say, well, it's not holy. Well, your Quran is not holy either, because the Quran even says okay to beat women.
And ask this question, brother. Right? I meant to ask you this New Year's Eve. And we talking about Minister Farrakhan. Now, you said you don't believe the Bible. Why you said Jesus Christ? Why are you quoting certain things of the Bible that you say you don't like it? I feel it's a legit question to ask me. If you don't believe the Bible, you should have said nothing but the Bible. But you made quotations about it, and you don't believe Christian. Am I right? They don't believe Christianity. Am I right?
They don't. They
don't quote the Bible
all the time. All the time.
Jesus got so why?
And it's considered, and see, they don't know what the word paganism means. They don't know what they think paganism is for. Paganism or in order to be a paganist, is something. If you have a religion, and if you disagree with somebody else's religion, and if that religion don't go by your religion, you will look at that person like a Muslim will look at a Christian as paganist, and a Christian will look at a Muslim as paganist. That's how it is. That's what paganism is. So even in the Quran, see, I'm not a Quran reader, but I do learn. I do try to figure out. I do read some of the stuff that they say in it. And even the Quran says, do not be friends. And then you can look this up. They even said, do not be friends with the Christians and Jews. Do not even practice their ways. If you do, you become an enemy. This is in the Quran. But Farrakhan loved quoting the Bible. You got these B-raps that always quoting the Bible. But they'll tell us that because we are into our history, we the paganist people now? Our history become paganist? That's our history. You don't call the Greeks and Romans paganists. So we Black folks don't even know the difference between religion and history. My culture is not paganist. So, but you hear that from other Black people because this is what they've been taught, not even realizing that worship another person's religion is considered paganist. So they got it all screwed up. I don't really, like I said, Farrakhan's a joke. And he established he disregarded everything that Elijah Muhammad taught. Disregard. He created a whole new nation of Islam all about him. He did a whole new doctrine. And now he allowed white people and Native Indians in the so-called Nation of Islam now.
That could be informants.
Could be informants, yes. Matter of fact, he was an informant. Why do you think he set up his own teacher, Malcolm X? Elijah Muhammad wasn't his teacher. Malcolm X was. He was under Malcolm. And he set that man up. How you betray your teacher like that? Even when he told you as a student, hey, my teacher is doing something wrong. He's sleeping with young girls. And you going to sit there and try to ride on him and put him under the bus because you wanted his seat? And then you write papers talking about how much of a hypocrite and Malcolm deserved death? You put that in the atmosphere? You killed another Muslim? And that's supposed to be your brother, so to say? But you didn't do nothing to the enemy. 4 black girls, 4 young babies, 4 black girls got killed by the KKK in 1963. And they killed Malcolm in 1965. They didn't do nothing to retaliate for those, in the honor of those 4 young black girls who got bombed in that church. But they had all this smoke from one man who didn't do nothing wrong. Mm-hmm. And they will still defend wrong even to this day. Mm-hmm. These people have gotten rich after Malcolm's death.
Billions of dollars.
Yes, yes. He got rid of Khalid Muhammad. Farrakhan is definitely an informant. And Khalid Muhammad said, look, I learned everything from you. You taught me to not like Jews. And now you kick me out the nation because now I talk about them? But it's okay but for some reason, nothing happens to you when you talk negative about them?
And let's understand this here. You remember he showed them 2 books of them Jewish scholars was talking about we are the original people, and he talking about I challenge them. Come on, bro. Yeah, I'll cut my camera by mistake. Hear me out. You showed 2 books that the enemy was saying about African people. You know and I know that. Why did they come after you, mister?
Great point. Great point.
All I'm saying, connect the dots, y'all. You don't have to listen to my brother here. This public documents. Why I just want to know why all these years. Why I mean, yeah, they took him on social media a few years, but now all of a sudden he back on social media.
And you notice too, the Nation of Islam collected millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. We talk about since Malcolm came on board, okay? Mm-hmm. I have contributed to the nation. Mm-hmm. Why have they done nothing for African people, African ascendants, not descendants, ascendants? Ascendants means rise. Why they haven't done nothing for the African ascendants in United States? They made me. Why is Farrakhan living in a mansion? If your leader is eating better than you, he's not your leader.
And why the whole Chicago is suffering?
When I had debated that B-Rap, I asked him. You know what he said? And I don't know if you heard what he said. He said, the Nation of Islam is not obligated to tell you what they do with their money. What? Black folks donated, and you mean to tell me we're not obligated to ask them what the money went? But you see these high top profile Nation of Islam Negroes riding in fancy cars, win $1,000 shoot. That, remind you, is made from white folks. Their money's in white banks. Where's the Nation of Islam banks? Can you tell me, brother?
Can I take a guess? You tell me if I'm right or wrong?
Yeah, tell me where the Nation of Islam, do they have their own banks?
No, I know they have European banks around the world. Am I right?
Remember, they supposed to be the Nation of Islam. They supposed to believe in separation. So you believe in separation. So I'm assuming the Nation of Islam have their own banks where they could put their money in. So, okay. So they don't have their own banks. So their banks is in white people's hands. Their money is in white people's hands.
And make it so bad to go more about it. Their money is overseas, so they don't have. So that America don't have. The America knows they doing, man. That's why they get tax write-outs. They could put their money. And why do you think that other branches around the world that they're not even threatened? That makes you think.
Yeah, because they're working along with the enemy. They playing us. And black people, instead of checking them, see, that's what I'm saying for me. I'm a type of person, if you claim that you're doing right, if you're supposed to do right by us and I'm invested in you, and you turn around and you don't be a man or be a woman of your word, we be the ones that have to take them down. We have to be the ones to take them down. There should be no Nation of Islam. There should be no Farrakhan. There should be none of that, because they promise us something and they did not do it. What they really looking for is robots. As long as I can convert you into a religion so I can control you and control your money, then I can continue living a lavish lifestyle. They forgot. They forgot what happened to Jim Jones' era. Remember Jim Jones?
Yes, sir.
The cult leader that killed almost 90% of black people that followed him. Mm-hmm. Black people sold their houses and gave it to this one white man. They can even call this man Jesus. This is how sick our people are, man.
10 vowels.
Why do they say white women are the black man's kryptonite?
I knew she asked that question. I knew she gonna ask a question like that.
Who's saying that? Who's saying that? I don't know. Well, who's saying why? Why do they say? Who's they? Maybe 12L can help me with that. Because as fine as these sisters are, I don't see why would any black man want to get with a white. But like I said, I of course there's a status issue because black people wants to feel like they're part of, they want to be part of the white people's world. They want to be part, as long as I got a white woman in my arms, I made it.
But what I'm saying, brother, why we can't not say the same thing about black women too?
No, I agree. I'm saying I think that when I'm with my woman, I feel successful. I know I'm going to make it with my sisters. Yeah. I don't know what's the connection with wealth and white women. I don't know the connection of that. I don't know. So when you make millions of dollars, why you got to get yourself a white one? But I understand the higher you get in your status, the whiter it gets. I get it. So that means we have to come down to get our people and bring them back up with us. I don't see what's the problem with that. You got a lot of black folks, there's a lot of good people out here. A lot of black people are good and they struggling and they want to do right. So if I make it, I'm going to bring you up, brother.
Feel the same way too.
Yeah, let me ask. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me ask she asked another question. Why a black pimp values white prostitutes over his black prostitutes?
Hey, if the white women want to be prostitutes, that's what they're good for. Prostitutes. Don't dirty up our sisters. Don't dirty up our sisters. Let the white women be prostitutes. Let them do the nasty stuff and all that stuff. That's what they're good for. No, don't dirty up our sisters. So I don't have a problem with that.
But I'm saying these 12 vows, and I hope that you understand what I'm saying. We got quite a few black women are feminists. And I'm just saying this, out of respect. When is some of y'all going to talk against these feminists?
Facts.
I'm just asking the question.
Facts.
When are y'all going to speak up against these feminists that these black feminists talking about killing? If a baby come as a boy, that they're going to kill him. When are y'all going to come up? And also these simps too. When y'all going to come out and say something about that? And I get what you're saying, 12 vows. But I'm saying too,
the Cynthia G's.
When you gonna come out and speak on it? Because it's rolling right now. It's not just Cynthia G. This been going even before Cynthia G. So when y'all gonna speak on that? And a lot of y'all are mothers. And y'all want to stand quiet? And some of your men want to be around toxic feminine. But y'all quiet too. When are you gonna pull up your grown-up drawers and talk? I'm saying, like, when these black women, some of the black women gonna pull up yourself and talk about this? It's okay to say if they don't say that much about a young girl. Even if you say something about kill a young girl, that's a baby, that's wrong too. And let me say that is wrong too. but killing all young black boys? And y'all want to be silent? What's wrong with simps and sugar daddies? I'm not gonna. You want to answer? I'm not answering that question because.
What's wrong with simps and sugar daddies?
I'm not answering that.
I don't know.
I
don't know. I'm not going to even answer that either. Simps and sugar daddies. I don't know. I personally, it doesn't apply to me. So I'm not a simp, and I'm not damn nobody's sugar daddy. So
I'm not going to answer that because
that doesn't apply to me.
With all due respect, 12, I'm not answering that. I mean, I'm not answering that. All I'm just saying, your sips and your down low, I'm talking about the black feminists and even the down low ones. When are y'all gonna go against people that they stay, if the baby, I'm gonna repeat it again, that the baby come as a boy that y'all gonna kill? When are y'all gonna speak on that? But you know what I think, brother? Crickets. The majority of them ain't gonna say. Me and you talk about. There are some women do bring it up. So I'm not gonna say, but majority of them are crickets.
Yeah, I agree. I think most sisters need to talk more about the black feminist movement and talk against the black feminist movement. I want to hear more of that. I want to hear what the sisters think. Because I do not like a black feminist like the Black Lives Matter, which is built on black feminism. Yes. We already know that black feminism was created by the United States. I don't need no man. I hate the black man, the divestors and all that stuff, the lesbians. We have to, they got we need sisters that need to talk more about that. When I heard about that whole killing young boys and all that, the young baby black boys or whatever coming from Cynthia G, and I was so disgusted. It should have been women who have young boys should have flooded YouTube. They should have ran her off of YouTube for that. Women has a role too, Y'all have a responsibility. But when he's talking about when you mention simps, a simp would take up for that. Oh, well, she's still a black woman, and they, nah, get out of here.
You're right. I'm just laughing because that's what they say.
Black woman. That's a simp. That's a black woman. You can't disrespect her like that. Not thinking, no, it's not about disrespect. Even Malcolm X said we have to be hard on our sisters because they teach the world. When you teach a child, you teach a generation. Because she gives birth, and that's just how it is. So I would like to. There should be, like I said, Cynthia G should have been ran off of YouTube. There should have been sisters should have been like, no, I have a son. And why you think it's okay that you want your son to be gay? Why would you want your son to be feminine? Why would you want your son to want to act like a female? And I know a lot of women don't care. Oh, well, I've heard sisters say this, not all, but I was just like, well, if my son is gay, I'll still love him. What? You mean to tell me you ain't woman enough to tell your son how to teach your son how to be a man? And say, hey, no, boy, no, a man should be this way. You gotta. A woman can teach can drop some jewels on her son and let her know, hey, what a man could be like. No, men don't mess with men. Women has a responsibility too. I grew up in a single household. I ain't walking around with no dress on and acting like I'm a feminine and all that stuff. My mother didn't play that. My mother
I
didn't.
ain't trying no shoes on.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you when we's coming, you better even that not even look that better not even look in the closet.
Yeah, our mothers was warriors.
Yes.
Our mothers was warriors. I mean, our parents had their issues, but when it came down to real principle stuff, oh, they didn't. They dropped it.
Yeah.
They dropped it. They did not hold their tongue, and they'll let you know, hey, if you go that way, you can't come around me. I would disown your ass. That's that old African way of doing things. You can't go around. You go to you African families. They would outcast their children if their children. They would disown them if they go against the family. That's like going against the family. You cannot go against the family. And this is what I'm saying. Keeping your name, never disrespect your name. But go ahead, brother. I just want to throw that out.
No, and also there is a country, I forgot her name, she's a prime minister, and they asked about homosexuality. No, it's not allowed. And they trying to pin in the pin. No, it's not allowed. No. We trying to keep our family culture, the man and the women. And there was another woman trying to no. It's a law.
It's the law, yeah. And that's how it should be. It should be a law in the home.
No.
Principle.
It's a principle. Well, you ready to leave? Because I know we approaching over 2 hours.
Yeah, man. This is a good conversation. I'm just gonna just read what so she said. She said, how can a female hate a black man? It's crazy. Yeah, I agree. She said, I think gay men are embraced by white homosexual males that are Jewish. Yeah. I mean, and 9 out of 10, they're more accepted.
They're more yeah, it's true. Yeah, and also we can't leave out the lesbians too. if you're a black lesbian, you're not all that accepted.
Nope. I wanted to show you something real quick.
Go ahead.
I couldn't find the other brother I was telling you about. I've been looking on my phone, but I met James Smalls. Remember James Smalls?
Yes, sir.
I met James Smalls. Let me see if I can put that up. Let me see if you can see it.
Oh, okay, I see it. So right there. All right.
Yeah, and he's a scholar too.
Yes, he is.
I met a lot of. I'm telling you, I met a lot of good people, man. A lot of scholars, man, and that's what groomed me today, and I thank them for that. So that's why I can say I could talk my stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, but this has been a great show, brother. I mean, I appreciate you having me on. We got to do this again.
Definitely.
We definitely got to do this again, brother. But I want to thank you for having me. I want to thank the chat for being active. Shout out to Brother Bakari, 10 Vals, and everybody. Yeah, definitely. Everybody in the chat, man. Thank you so much for being active and showing love, man, because this has been a great program, man. And I was definitely going to share this to my live too.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And anybody else that want to share it, please. I appreciate that, bro. And also, let me see that. Let me see. I think I shared it earlier. Let me see. Let me see. I think I shared it. Hold on. Let me go. I'm gonna share it one more time. Just stay right there before we leave. Make your last remarks, please. While I'm going
Definitely.
on.
Like I said, this is Guy Nollywood Jr. Man, subscribe to my channel. Um, and like I said, I talk about basically things that's going to enlighten you, things that's going to motivate you, things I talk about history, I talk about current events sometimes, and everything that I say I've learned. Yeah, I might talk about things that's not related to the topic. I might get at a couple of folks that try to play me because when the smarter you, I realize the smarter you are, the more educated you are, you're going to have enemies. You're going to have enemies. And my mother always said, the smarter you are, the more intelligent you are, you're going to have less friends. So the people are not closing the gap, and you're progressing, and they're not, and they're at the bottom. You got to leave them, and hopefully you meet somebody that's on your level. So that's what I realized. And like I said, never listen to people that don't that don't share the same views, or that don't think big. You see what I'm saying? Like, I met people who don't like I said, when I went to Jamaica, I had a good time. I had a great time. It was different.
Yeah,
The food was different.
yeah.
And you got a lot of black people don't travel. They don't learn about other countries. They don't learn about the people. And always show the fruits of your labor. Always show the fruits of labor.
Yeah.
So it's nothing wrong, going on vacation and seeing other worlds, man. It's a big world out here. So,
Yeah.
but thank you, brother. Thank you for having me. This has been a great show, and I,
Yeah.
I really appreciate you, man.
Yeah. Stay right there because I want to talk to you after. So I want you to stay right there and end it. On behalf of my channel, The Underrated Darkness, your truth, the number one grinder, one of the best kept secrets on social media, and you hear it. You hear this. Black man cannot build. Maybe there's a little belief right there, a little different. But the one thing that we understand, Africa has to be first. And it has to be global. And we have to understand we are original people. We have to understand that. We got to understand a lot of us, I'm talking about in this country, a lot of our brothers and sisters, famous, not so famous, had paid the way. And they rest in that African soil all around the world. And they're looking for us to keep on this global movement. We got to understand it's not just a movement. I know people that it's a global movement, but it seems like us as a people in this country of Africa they tend to forget about. But we have to understand that there are some Africans do not acknowledge it anyway, but just understand it. They will be taken care of. So we understand they will be taken, but we have to push it because it's just a few of us is pushing it, like me and Guy Bakari and other brothers and sisters. So we have to understand. And I want to thank you so much to put me in the class, Brother Bakari and stuff, because hey, I just want to do the work, and I'm very, very grateful for that. I am humbled. Trust me, I am humbled because all I just want to do the work, bro. And coming from you, a student and a teacher, you don't know. That's why I caught the camera because I have to
You do
because I
great
don't, I
work,
don't, I,
brother.
I,
You
I don't,
do
I don't,
great
I don't, I
work.
don't, I don't get, I don't get the credit. I don't,
I've been, how long I followed you for the longest,
yes,
for the longest. So you do great work. I love your program. So you know me. I always been
I
supporting
appreciate
you
that.
from day one. So
I appreciate that. And then brother, he's gonna share it out in a few minutes after we have our little talk right then and there. And so, on behalf of my channel, Underrated Darkness, yours truly, the number one grinder. This is the last of the Guy Nollywood Jr. Chopper. You come late, always catch you on the rewind. Always catch you on the rewind. This is a great chop up. He did ask me questions. Good, great question. Like I said, I had to take my Yankees. Almost take my Yankee hat off. You know what I mean? I want to take my Yankee hat off, but that's what we're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Engage and be challenged. And it's a healthy challenge to make sure that we stood on the same base here.
That's right.
Home base of same global home base for our people. It's very important.
Mm-hmm.
And not everybody that looks like us willing to take that step. We got to understand that. See, people think that you're supposed to have money or you're supposed to know this. No. You don't have to be on that. As long as you be a righteous person and you stick for what's right, it's going to prevail you. So when people say you got to be money and all that, you don't got all that money. Knowledge is knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
What you put into it, somebody can learn from you. If it's righteous, they can learn from you.
Mm-hmm.
You can learn from the person that's less fortunate. Have a lot of wisdom. So that's why when Brother Nollywood was talking about that he constantly learning, that's very important because you can learn from somebody else. That means let me know he keep on manifesting every day of knowledge. So when the knowledge comes from here, then it goes from here. Now it comes from here, go here. All that is a component of truth. All that is a component. Let me say, man, see, got that guy now. That motherfucker be George tonight. But you know what? Yeah, but I like that. But you know, all that is component of truth.
Mm-hmm.
Not my truth. Not brother Nollywood truth. All of it is about truth. And we have to understand. So we got to get back into let absorb this true knowledge to keep that knowledge of truth and act on it. Yeah, we imperfect. We get it, but we got to get back on the path and keep on speaking the truth, even though that sometimes it feels uncomfortable. When I talk about it feels uncomfortable, I'm talking about we feel sad, we feel angry over it. Not being scared, but we get angry over it because when you speak truth, sometimes you know what I'm saying, but it aches. Because we should know better.
Yeah.
And so understanding when it aches like that means you care. And there's nothing wrong with you care. I mean, we cannot care for all black people. No. There's some gotta go, some gotta go. Some gotta go. But we have to understand. Do not let people tell you, you gotta have this and that. Only just quiet and out. It's there. It's public. And you're gonna be better for it. You're gonna show people, but not all people ain't gonna take it. And don't get frustrated. Because you're on the right path. And all that knowledge you'd be surprised that you will help yourself, your family, but don't worry about it. Like I said, if it's going to manifest, truth. Right. All this is truth. We deserve the truth. We deserve the truth. You see what I do? See what I'm doing, y'all? We deserve the truth. So let it manifest into truth when we speak.
That's right.
Let it hit people because there's someone else needed. Because this evil system has thrown them away, but at the same time, us as strong African people, we still here. You trying to kill us for centuries, we here. You send our people to kill us, but we still here. So our DNA, to me, hey, y'all a joke because we still here. But on behalf of my channel, thanks again, brother. We're gonna do this again, and I very much appreciate you. Thank you for blessing us to come on this side and everything. Thank you to bring some people over here. And like I said, he's gonna share this out So the people that are hearing from his side of the family, please share this up because this is groundbreaking. This is something that we need to do more. This is something that you see two brothers building, but at the same time fight for the rights of Africans around this world that willing to stand by side and fight.
That's
I'm
right.
talking about fight. Give it all you got and fight. There's nothing left. Fight.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't want those nice jobs. If y'all work hard, you get a new job, a nice job. I'm not saying y'all deserve everything, but I'm saying them abundance cannot repay the tyranny that they did to our ancestors around the world.
Mm-hmm.
No abundance cannot repay for that. But what we could do, we gotta keep them going. And we gotta keep ourselves going. We gotta keep the family going because what they trying to do, they trying to cut us out of history, y'all, in all levels.
That's right.
Not just political now, but
That's
all
right.
levels.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot let that happen.
It's true.
On that note, our African people around the world, throughout humanity, that still fight for us. Shout out to y'all. Matter of fact, before we go, let me go through the reacts. I like reacts. How they got on here. Air horn. We clapping for our brother. Thank you. My special clap for the brother.
Thank you. Wow.
I like Melon. Melon got some good stuff. And if you want to drink to this brother, we got drink for our people to keep the spirit going. All right. And also, let's keep on cheering for the fight for our people.
That's what's up.
And when y'all unrighteous fools, y'all get this from us. Then we still laughing at these unrighteous fools that y'all don't believe in the real spirit. We come up and we look down on you. We kick dirt in your face. You don't belong. Because we kick that African soil on you. You will have to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
Laugh at your fools again. And after we do that, we got a tombstone and a pine box for you because you want to work with white supremacy and the African ground where you belong. Drum, please. That's the warning shot. That's the doom shot. Pine box going down. Let the Naxon get y'all.
That's right. That's right.
For your memory. Thank you. Do it for my brother right here. I ain't doing like to anybody else, but I did my brother right here. So, but like, very important, y'all. The unrighteous ones, they got to go.
Mm-hmm.
No matter you're man or woman, if you're not willing to fight, return against righteousness, got to go. That's all to it. There is no ifs about it. In life, there's a right way to do things and there's wrong ways to do things. Each of them, there's consequences. You go against good people, you're going to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's not you, but it could be your kids, it could be anybody else, or all above. But you're going to pay for it. Because destruction, do not discriminate.
That's right.
Don't discriminate. We here. Thanks for coming, brother. We get ready to end this. So, good night. Be well. Let's keep this spirit going. Let's keep on fighting, y'all. The war's not over, y'all. Just started.
That's right.
Let's keep it going. Let's keep our people going the one pay the way. Not just Black History Month, all throughout the year, all throughout the years. We got to keep it going. It's up to us now. Okay? We got to do it. So good night and be well.
All right. Good night.